Hey everybody out there in YouTube, welcome back to the channel. I'm gonna tell you what, we're not gonna kick it off with any kind of weird intro or anything. We're just gonna get right into the meat of the episode here, and I think you guys can all tell what the episode is by the title of this. It is a quest, if you will, a journey across Spamatopia to see where these extra, and I guess, what was the way you would describe it, Miss Junk?
Wow, how I would describe spam or our journey?
Our journey. What way are we going with this?
A culinary adventure. I think that's the only way to put it.
I think so.
Yeah.
This is just the introduction.
An international culinary adventure starting in Minnesota.
That is correct. And that's what I like about this, because this is going to be a full perspective on spam and all of its different incarnations and flavors and all the different kinds. We found out there's so many different kinds of spam that we could eat. And Miss Junk and I were talking about it and thinking to ourselves, God, how awesome would it be if we did Spam of the Month Club, which is exactly what this is going to wind up being. And I think what I'd like to do is each month go through a specialty spam and see where it rates against, the big cheese.
The OG, the old school.
The old G, right. And I have plans for how we're going to do this later on. But first of all, hi, Miss Junk. I'm sorry I did not introduce you properly.
Thank you.
I did.
By the way, I didn't hear the recording in progress.
I know. She's taking a break.
All right, good.
She's on vacation for the week.
All right, good for her.
Right.
She's earned. Yeah, spam, and I'm rocking my spam bowling shirt.
I love that. That's so great.
Which is the least flattering piece of attire you could possibly wear is the bowling shirt. I have SpongeBob has more curves than I do right now. This is this is not at all flat, but you know what? It's part of it. It's still my favorite shirt. It's the one I'm gonna be, the one I'll die in, the one I'll be buried in.
And that's all you can hope. This is for science anyway, so you better be wearing your best scientific shirt.
For sure.
Formal wear, science, it works for everything.
Right. Yeah, but we're both spam aficionados, if you will. And look, spam has, I'm sure they've had some duds. I remember one year they made a pumpkin spice spam. Which on paper now everyone poo-poos it, but if you think about ham, a lot of times people put clove in ham.
Sure.
They put the cinnamon and nutmeg. I don't know.
Sure.
I don't
know. No, you're right.
Yeah, I don't think
spiced ham, yeah.
But spam is when did you start eating? When was the first time you think you ate spam and enjoyed it, or what? Why do you like spam?
So to answer your first question first, I think I can't really remember the first time that I ever ate spam, because it was actually a staple in the house growing up. The first time I think that I ever really had spam was in a sandwich. That I can really remember spam being as advertised as part of the meal, right? And I'm sure I've had it before then, because the flavor profile was very, very similar, very familiar to me as a young kid. But that was when I first, and it was just a grilled spam and cheese sandwich. Nothing fantastic, nothing fancy, but it blew my taste buds away, and it blew my mind away how anything could be this delicious and come from a can. It was incredible to me. It was crazy to think about. So that was my first real experience with what I can remember to be spam. And since then, I've used it in quite a bit of things. And we'll talk about those more and more. But what are your first experiences with spam, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah. I don't think I ever actually opened up a can of spam and made that sound,
right,
until probably college or slightly after. But where I grew up, it was a small town, and they had a county fair in there, which small town county fairs are, the food is still the food, but they had this one place. It was like an Elks Club or Kiwanis Club. Every year they had this place where they served hamburgers, and everyone would go there, but it was literally just like a slice of grilled spam on a bun.
Hey,
but here's the thing. It was great. It was great. And then it wasn't until like later on, I was thinking about them, and so it was like, oh yeah, it's probably just spam, or something similar. Actually, it's probably something cheaper that they get in bulk. But
right.
Yeah. So
Armor treat.
Yeah, for right. Ugh. But yeah. So then so then I bought it, and like here's the thing, like I don't do just spam sliced.
Mm-hmm.
You have to fry it. In my
Sure.
opinion, that's you need that crispiness.
Sure.
That's
Sure.
I don't know.
Now I've had it raw, and I don't mind it raw, right? I think it's actually a palatable lunch meat if you tend to slice it a little on the thin side.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
of course, the mistake people make is they cut it way too thick for the sandwich, and then it winds up being this quarter pounder with cheese, right?
Okay.
And that's great, and I eat that too, but don't do that. Just
Right.
if you're gonna fry it, or if you're gonna eat it raw, do it nice and thin, and that way
Gotcha.
it's not overpowering the sandwich. It's actually quite nice.
Yeah, I've never had it. I've never had it raw, to be honest. But I think like because I just like that crispiness that
Hmm.
that when you fry it up and you get that brown like side, it's like that's my favorite part.
It is,
So
and what, I have to admit, it's part of my favorite part of that whole thing as well. But in the interest of science, you're going to be able to
that's
taste this stuff raw. So,
yeah,
and it's
yeah,
not really raw. Can you explain that to me for a bit, Miss
sure.
Junk? How
Yeah,
is it
well,
not
well,
raw?
actually, the way these are made, it's basically it's like they have ham and they have like pork shoulder, and
Hmm.
I think there's only like one chemically sort of thing, which is a preservative.
Right.
But when they mix it all together and they put it in the can, they seal the can, and then it actually cooks in the can before
Hmm.
they ship it out. So it is pre-cooked and ready to go. You actually don't need to cook it, which is another, you know,
It's a bonus.
right, right.
I mean, essentially, that's what it is. People get afraid of it because it comes in a can, right? But essentially, that's what it is. It's lunch meat.
Yeah, but people eat tuna.
Right, right. Go for it. And canned chicken,
Right, right,
right?
which come
Come
on.
on. Come on.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
like
and
my.
calling unwanted email spam. That's just. I'm sorry.
That's an
I'm sorry.
insult.
It's an insult. It's an
It's an
insult.
insult.
Now I cherish my spam folder.
That's right. I'm going to rename my spam folder to the trash folder and keep spam out of the equation. But
I name it to the Miss Junk folder.
right,
Which,
that's
right?
pretty
Yeah.
awesome.
Yes. Yeah. Now you cook. I'm not a very good cook. You've actually done things with spam. What are some of the things you've done with spam?
So it's funny because we talked about this on one of the episodes of Double AD, but I used to love making what I called spaccos. They were spam tacos, right? And there's a number of different ways that you can do them. You can get one of those old fashioned, 1900s cast iron meat grinders that attach to your counter, which is what I have.
Right. Right.
And
Right.
you hand crank the spam through the grinder to get it back to a textural. It's not mush, but
Right.
it's ground spam is what it
Right.
is. And you fry it like you fry the hamburger meat. And you season it with a little bit of cumin, and you season it with a little bit of garlic. And wow, if you want to, you can use some chili powder and some paprika. I'm not a fan of doing that so much because I
Okay.
want the flavor of the spam to come through. But
Does it brown when you ground it up like that?
oh
Does it
yeah,
brown really
yeah,
well? Does it? All
yeah,
right.
yeah. Now you got to brown the heck out of it, but it does brown, right? And
Yes.
that's what you're
Okay.
going to get is you're going to get all those little nice crispy ends on the ground beef side, and
Oh,
that
nice.
crispy corn taco shell. Oh, forget it. Oh, forget it.
Sparkles. Sparkles.
Spaccos are where it's at. If you have
Nice.
never had a
Nice.
spacco, you owe it to yourself to have one.
All right. This year I might do a. I tried doing a roast spam once one Christmas.
Oh, right. Okay. How did
Yeah,
that
because I
turn
was home
out?
by myself and I thought it'd be kind of funny, so I tried just like putting it on there. It was okay. It wasn't like I mean it was basically just like it's individual slices were better, but but I did that once. I
Nice.
didn't do the I should you know what I should have done? I should have done pineapple like it's an actual
Oh,
jam, like
right.
pineapple cloves. You know?
Well, I have a feeling you're going to get to do all of that and
Yes,
more
absolutely.
in this journey of spam. Um,
Yes.
gosh, before
Yeah.
we get in, go ahead.
Yeah, and now why don't you go into a little bit about like how what we're gonna do specifically and like how we're gonna judge it and what sort
Sure,
of
sure.
the
Um,
criteria.
so I decided to kind of break this down into a few different categories, right? And I could only think of about four really, big criteria that we're going to measure this up against. And the first one is visuals, right?
Yes.
Obviously. Does the can look iconic, right? Does the product look delicious in and out of the can, right? I want to give it a point for aroma. Is this the first thing you notice besides the visual? Is that bouquet when you open up the tin? Is it inviting? Does it inspire you to create new dishes, or does it reinforce any ideas you might have had for making recipes, right? So that's a point.
Okay.
And
All right.
flavor, obviously, has to be a big point too here, right? Both cooked and uncooked, how does the flavor profile change? Does it need a good sear, or is it better without the application of heat? Because I'm willing to bet some of these will be better.
Really
Oh
interesting.
yeah. I'd be willing to venture a guess. And maybe I'm wrong, but that's what this is all about, right? We're
Yeah, now
gonna,
this is interesting because like you had a very technical approach to the cereal thing too, which is
yes.
so hearing this is I'm glad you were in charge of the technical aspect.
Well, I am kind of a nerd, so that's where I get it.
Perfect, perfect.
Um, so texture, right? Did we cover flavor? Yes, we
Yep, you
did.
mentioned flavor, like
Yes.
cooked and
Okay.
uncooked. Does it need
Uncooked
the
and uncooked.
application of heat, quote unquote?
Absolutely. So the next criteria is the last criteria really is texture. This is a must, right? How does it sit in your mouth? What's the mouth feel? Is it mushy? Is it hard, either before or after the cooking process? Do the additives and flavors or seasonings change the dynamic of the Spam in any way from a mouthfeel perspective? Because I have a feeling some of those are going to happen.
Yes, yes.
And of course, each field, I think we may agree on this, is going to be worth one snout, right? So
Okay,
if you
okay.
thought the jalapeno Spam, right, which is I think is the Spam we're going to start with,
Right.
jalapeno Spam was the most ballin' thing you ever ate. You give it one snout per field, which gives you a total of 4 snouts. If you
Okay.
really hated it, you give it 0 snouts,
Wait, am
right?
I snouts or am I hoofs?
We'll get to that.
Okay.
So if there's any aspect of it you didn't like, but overall enjoyed the product, you scored accordingly, right? So if you liked the aroma and the flavor, but the texture was off, you would give it, 3 out of 4 snouts, right?
Okay.
And I would do the same.
Okay.
The next piece is the recipe bit, okay? This is where we feature Spam in a recipe of our choosing,
Right.
but we choose it for the other person.
Oh.
So you have to create the dish that I give to you, and I have to create the dish that you give to me. Okay? Now, I think that's the only fair way to do it, because the way we're going to do it is I'm going to do it however I interpret that dish, right? So for example, I would love for you to do, and this is going to be your actual homework assignment, Spanish rice using jalapeno Spam pintos, and use a nice little lime cilantro corn salsa. And I can actually tell you how to make
Okay.
that if you
Well,
want me
I don't
to.
like cilantro, but
You don't like cilantro? Then omit the cilantro.
okay, okay.
Yeah, you
Wow,
can omit that.
first of all, you're a much better cook than I am.
I don't know about that, but
Okay.
okay. But no, you have to basically make that, and I'll actually help you out throughout the whole process if you
Okay.
need me to.
Okay.
But you make that, and you tell me if it works as a dish, if it doesn't work as a dish, if Spam works in the recipe, if it makes it better, or if it makes it worse, right? And based on the success of that, you get a trotter. So
Okay.
if it's either a thumbs up or a thumbs down, I guess you could do a thumbs in the middle too. I'll give you half a trotter so we could keep the
Okay,
score
okay.
kind of even. But you can do thumbs down, thumbs in the middle, or thumbs up, and that will give you the trotter score. So at the end of the Spam can, you can have 4.5 or 4 or 5 trotter. Or I'm sorry, how am I saying this? I'm getting myself mixed up. 4 snouts and 1 trotter to make the entire score. So you can have
Okay.
3 snouts and
It should
half
be
a trotter.
4 trotters and 1 snout because there are 4 hoofs on a pig.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Should be 4 trotters. Does it get a snout? And
Yes.
Does it get a tail?
No, you're right. You're so right. God, this is
That's
why
why I'm here.
this is why you're here.
I mean, you're very technical, but I have that
You have that
vision.
creative vision that I just can't see.
Exactly, exactly.
Golly. Well, I'll tell you what. So
Okay. But continue.
right. So transpose everything I just said from snouts to trotters, right, folks?
Yes.
So
yes.
based on this recipe, you can get, 0 snouts, half a snout, or a full snout, right?
Okay. Now, what
And
about trotters? Can you get half trotters, like three and a
you
half
could
trotters?
probably get half trotters. I would allow half trotters in there.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I
So
think half
so
trotters are
so
probably good,
right. So the thumbs up, thumbs down for the snouts.
right?
Okay.
And thumbs in the middle for half. So if you thought the meal was only mid, then it gets half. So, yeah, I think that is going to be quite the scoring system. But I think it's probably the only way to keep it, as fair as possible.
Okay.
Because here's what I was thinking: if I make my own meal, of course I'm going to give it full ranks.
Right. Yeah. I like the idea of you making your own meal though a little bit.
Oh, do you?
I kind of do because I want you to give it its best. Maybe we should make each other's meal and our own meal.
Oh.
Or maybe we should take it to the test kitchen, prepare it in a way we like it, and then send it.
Oh, interesting.
Maybe we should think about this. But
Yeah, we
regardless,
should think
there
about
will be a
this.
recipe that we cook and we
Yes.
try it in the recipe.
Yes.
And yes.
Yes. That much we will encapsulate or
Right.
encompass.
Yeah. I like giving it the whole month and just trying it out and seeing our adventures, our spam ventures.
I like that idea too. I mean, I've got a whole can of jalapeno spam just waiting to be opened.
Right. I mean, it's going to be an adventure, much like the adventures of Sir Canalot, the official mascot of Spam.
Is
Not
that
Sir
really
Spamalot, it's Sir Canalot.
Sir Canalot?
People forget his name, and here's the thing: he's a fucking knight. How about you learn his goddamn name?
Right. We were just talking about being counted or being knighted as a baron, but here's a motherfucker who's actually a knight.
Right. I mean, the deeds that he's done.
I know.
He's earned it.
How many maidens has Sir Canalot, I am sorry, saved
Thank you.
from certain starvation? I couldn't couldn't imagine.
So all right, so we have like the first four, the trotters, then we have the snout.
Mm-hmm.
And what's next?
So
we take these scores, and what's next?
And then, so what we'll do is we'll catalog all of these scores, right? So if the month of August we do jalapeno, right? Then we put that up on the board and we say jalapeno spam between the two of us got, say Miss Junk rated it 3.25 and I rated it 4.5. Then those tallies will be displayed every month so that you can see where each spam rates. And I may even do a bar graph for it. I'm not sure. I haven't really figured out how I want to represent that yet, but we'll make it work.
Right. It could be like a little pig race. And a bar. How far the pigs go.
Yeah. Love that. So now I just got this picture. You remember that game show, The Price is Right, with the little guy up the hill? Yodelay, yodelay, yodelay.
For sure.
Oh, my Lord.
With a pig.
With a pig. Oh, I don't know. I'll have to get the AAD R&D team to work on that. I don't know
for sure.
If we can pull something like that off, folks, but that would be great if we could. But that's where I envision it, so that you have... out of all the spam flavors, which one do we think is best? Which one do we think is worst? And we'll have a catalog of all that information for you guys to see. So this is super nerdy. I'm really sorry that.
And the good news is Spam might come out with another new flavor while we're doing this. You never know.
You don't know. And I suppose
I have my sources at the Spam Factory are telling me that they always are working on new and innovative products. So hopefully, yeah.
And this is why I've got you on the show too, because you have the inside track.
I mean, I've spent years in the pits, like making these connections, and they're anonymous sources, so I don't want to risk their job. They're risking their career to talk to me, we'll see.
Yep. No, it's just high espionage going on here.
100%. Now, did we mention the one that we're trying for July?
Oh, I thought we were going to try, as our first one, jalapeno.
Yes.
I believe it is, yeah. I've got 6 whole cans ready to rock and roll for this already.
Wow.
So,
I bought 1 can and I thought, we'll go, but clearly I'll need more.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously you'll need more as time goes on, but I just went crazy. I figured, there was those bulk packages on Amazon that you buy, 6 cans of Spam for like $30 or whatever.
Right,
So
right,
I
right,
just
right.
did it, you know.
Nice, nice.
I got tocino and jalapeno and hot and spicy and maple and Korean barbecue. I've got them
Nice.
lined up, baby. I'm ready to rock this thing
Those, yeah.
all
Now,
night
now,
long.
what are you going in?
Yeah,
And now you're the one who chose jalapeno.
right.
What are your presuppositions? What do you have? Like, I know you're not prejudiced in any way. You're a fair and impartial judge. But
Yeah.
what's going on in your head with what do you expect to see? Have you ever tried it before? What are your concerns? Tell me a little bit about that.
So I have never tried any other flavor other than OG Spam.
Nice. Not
Um,
even maple. I thought you tried maple.
oh wait, I did try maple a long
Yes.
time ago. Yes, you're right. I was trying to think back. I did do the maple and eggs. It was delicious.
Yeah.
But no, that's the only two flavors that I've ever really had.
Okay. So you've
Um,
never had the jalapeno.
I've never had jalapeno. I've never had hot and spicy. I don't even know what tocino is, to be honest
No,
with you.
me
I,
either.
I have zero clue. I think it's Filipino, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
but correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. Somebody might.
Yes. Yes. Please
Um,
comment below.
yeah.
And also
Um,
comment below what flavor you can't wait for us to get into. Who
right.
knows if we get a lot of votes for one specific one, I think that's got to be the next one.
Right. Right. And in the interest of science, if indeed they do come out with a limited edition flavor whilst we're doing this, we have to
100%.
do
100%.
that, even if it's pumpkin spice.
Yes.
I,
Yes.
I, I I can't wrap my head around it, but maybe it's ballin'. Who knows?
Right. 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 So all right. So you've never had the jalapeno. What are some
No.
now? You have the cans? Have you seen the can and what it shows a little picture of what it looks like?
Oh yeah, it looks like there's little chunks of jalapeno all diced up into the loaf,
Right.
which I appreciate. And
Yes.
it
Okay.
looks sort of like pimento loaf. You ever had that stuff?
Ugh.
Lunch meat. Oh, pimento
Ugh.
loaf is delicious.
Any bologna type product, I'm not a fan of.
So wait a minute. How do you not like bologna and you love Spam?
Bolo- Two different animals. Two different animals.
Oh, okay. Okay. I won't
No,
have
but
this
no,
argument with you.
okay, so are you excited about the jalapeno?
I
I mean,
am. I'm stoked. I'm ready for it. I actually think it's going to be, and the reason I picked it first is because I actually am excited to give it a shot, to give it a whirl, because I think it's going to work great in Mexican food applications, which is near and dear to my heart. And I
nice,
love me some Mexican food. So,
nice.
um, now you don't have to go to Mexico if you don't want to. You can make anything else. If you want to give
No,
me, a hot jalapeno sandwich, I'm fine with
right.
that.
I had a couple ideas with it. Now I actually don't like jalapenos. I don't
Hmm.
like jalapenos. I don't mind
Oh,
spicy food. Like I like habaneros more than jalapenos.
okay.
Something about the flavor. But I do love something called Hatch chilies, which are like
Oh,
these they come almost like a pickled sort of spicy thing.
yep.
And I used to take that and mix it and if you mix that in with macaroni and cheese, it's absolutely amazing. So it's like this
Mm.
little kick to this macaroni and cheese, this like green fresh kick.
Ooh, don't
That's
tease me
not
with a
something
good
that's
time.
what's that look on your face? That no or yes?
No, that
Oh,
says yes.
okay.
Don't tease
Yeah.
me with a good time.
Right, right.
Oh
Okay,
my
okay.
Lord.
And that's one of the things that I was thinking of. But also I was thinking of there's something in upstate New York called a garbage plate, which I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but
I have.
basically it's either tater tots or French fries, and then just put a bunch of garbage on it. Either it's like chili and cheese, or it's almost like they could do a poutine type thing. You could
Hmm.
do anything on these tater tots, and then I thought like jalapeno, like spicy, like the greasy almost,
Mm.
like that sort of thing. It made me think of bar food, and I thought about a
Oh
garbage plate
man,
with
yes.
that stuff. Now,
Oh
not exactly high end dining.
no, but that's the
That's not
thing.
me. Like, yeah,
It
you're not
doesn't
going to get a
have to be.
tartar.
Right. It doesn't have to be.
Right.
That's the whole thing, right? I think the vision I had for the Spanish rice was as about as high end as it gets, right? Um, the rest of these,
Spanish rice
it's
is
spam.
Spanish rice.
Spanish rice. I love that. I'm gonna make that a thing, Spanish rice. Um, but no, that's what makes this so good is, a lot of this is not gonna be fine dining. If you're looking for
Right.
fine dining,
For
folks,
sure.
you're probably at the wrong channel.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
This is
Right.
Spam, baby. So good.
Yeah, yeah. So I got the can, and when I saw it, it was actually one of my first concerns was like, is this going to be like a chemically flavor? But I should know better. The people at Hormel they know better than
They
I
know
mean,
what
come
they're
on,
doing.
you have to trust the process, you know.
You
And I
know
saw
how
that there
often I
was
say that to myself? Trust the process.
exactly, exactly. And then when I saw what it looks like, it almost looks like those Hatch chilies. So I'm a little excited to try it.
Oh,
Texturally, I'm not really sure how that's going to play, but I'm pretty
yeah.
excited to
Yeah.
try it.
Yeah, and you're right. Out of all the things that kind of make me a little nervous, the textural aspect does kind of it doesn't raise an alarm bell for me because again, I feel it kind of like pimento loaf. But you're right. I don't want there to be any issue when I bite into it and you get a big hunk of something that doesn't feel like Spam.
Right, right.
Um, could be a
And
little
does it fall
jarring.
apart? Does the jalapeno, does it make it fall apart? You know, Spam holds
Oh,
together very well. Does this
right.
make it fall apart? So we'll see. We'll see what
Yeah, we'll
happens.
see if it leaves little holes in the Spam.
Yes, yes.
But
So, so you think bologna is similar to Spam?
I think they're in the same category. They're definitely
Really?
in the same category. They're both lunch meat
Yeah,
and they're both compressed
yeah, I guess.
meats that I mean just because you keep one refrigerated
Right,
doesn't mean
right.
and
Bologna's
look,
mostly beef, though. Mostly beef parts.
correct, yeah. Now, I could look, I think Spam is on the same tier, or not the same tier, but is in the same group level as sopressata and
Oh
any
wow.
lunch meat because that's what it is,
Right,
you
right.
know?
A tier, S
Right.
tier,
Oh
A
no,
tier.
it's an A tier lunch meat, that's for
Okay,
sure.
okay, for
Yeah,
sure.
no. S tier is reserved for things like
Yeah.
um, uh,
Wagyu aged beef.
Wagyu aged beef, prosciutto,
Oh, okay,
right? The nice creme
okay.
de la creme,
Right.
caviar infused
Right.
buttholes, right?
Right, right. I think at the end we probably could have a spam tier list too,
Oh
which
yeah,
works too.
spam
Yeah,
tier list.
yeah. But I'm excited. We have a lot of great things coming on.
We sure
We're
do.
gonna and we're gonna document it for the video, right? We're gonna whether it's pictures or mini videos
Yeah,
of the process of opening the can, all that stuff.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. I can't wait to maybe show a little bit of my or I'm sorry, the double AD research and development team's abilities to um, produce video. So we'll see how that shakes out.
right.
If we can manage to get extra video, then we will put extra video on there. Otherwise, it'll just be some pictures. But yes,
Yes.
we will
Now,
definitely share.
have you told your doctor about the amount of sodium you're planning on eating this month?
I do, yeah. I said before this, I should get my fats a different way, but it's for science.
Right,
I,
right,
I,
right.
I
And there are
have to do
things,
it.
there are things we can counteract. I know we're
Right.
getting a little older.
Yeah.
I visited teenage nephews and nieces and played wiffle ball, which tired me out and made me pull a hip. Well, not even running, just
Just
throwing the ball to
swinging the
them
ball.
and swinging the bat. So yeah, so
Oh,
my sodium content might go a little high. We
yeah.
might end up looking very grizzled at the end of this,
Yeah.
or who knows, maybe we'll look better.
Right. We'll be preserved. That's the
That's
way
right.
I like to see it.
Excellent,
We'll be
excellent.
preserved. Well, what do you think? Are we ready to start this thing?
Absolutely. I'm excited. Let's break into the jalapeno spam and get going to business. Yeah.
I fully agree. And gosh, I don't know what else we could cover today. So I guess what I'll say is we want to thank all of you so much for being a part of this experiment with us. And it is an experiment, folks. So line up every month because you never know what you're going to get over here. And if you want to see how this whole thing ends, just let us know. Comment if you like things, if you don't like things. I don't care. It's all good. And Miss Junk, you don't care either, do you?
I don't care.
I don't care. It's spam. It's all good.
Spam. It's all for fun. It's all in
It's
good
right.
fun.
It
So
is.
yeah, I do. I would like to see what some people are interested in. Like here's like when it comes to spam, the one thing that everyone talks about is the like the spam on rice, the
Oh,
musabi, is that what they
yeah.
call it?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what they call it. That's the one everybody talks about that. But
Right.
yeah. But
Yeah.
anyway, I'm excited. I'm excited.
And I'm sure that recipe will come up eventually
For
as well.
sure. For sure.
Yeah. Yeah. But definitely excited. I want to say, don't forget to like and subscribe. You guys are the best. For Miss Junk, this is Old School saying, so long, everybody.